What is up, gents and gal? Grey Knight Dude here. Gonna do part 2 of a couple part series of the Codex review. So if you click on this one, we're going over the gifts of Prescience and the visions of Agridium. So new thing they added to the Codex since last time I played, and probably the last Codex you guys have seen. But it's basically additional points that you guys can be spending on characters and kind of helping out your battle, and it's very strategic. It's very situational on a lot of these. So we're going to be going over all of them and kind of give my insight on what I'm going to be using, what I'm going to be planning to use, what's good, what's not good, and you guys let me know what you guys think. And then we're going to be continuing the next video with just literally going through the Codex. So we got the CPs. That's going to be a good one. There's going to be a ton of CPs that we have been using and haven't been using. And then we're going to go over the psychic powers, probably in the same video. And then the litanies, I don't know a lot of. It's maybe we'll throw that into the warlord traits. And then finally we'll finish off with all of the character sheets, the data sheets. Yeah. So let's go back into what we're talking about today, which is going to be the gifts as well as the visions. So starting off with the visions, let's go over the. Alright, so here are the visions. We have a bunch of them to choose from. All the points are on this side here. Kind of goes over all of them. Some of them are 30, which are pretty expensive. Then we got 20, 15, and then on the side, same as over here. You can't have both on the same character. You can only choose one of each on a character. So make sure you remember that. And then let's go over the visions. So first one we have, and the pronunciation is going to be god-awful with these. So Agri of Aggression. So the aggression one. Once per battle, when a friendly Grey Knight's core or Grey Knight's character unit within 12 inches of this model is selected to fire Overwatch, this model can experience the vision. If it does, then until the end of the phase, each time this model in the unit makes an Overwatch attack, a hit roll scored of unmodified roll of 4. So 4 up Overwatch is pretty cool. Again, within 12 inches. So basically, if you have it on one of your characters and you're 12 inches away from a huge Terminator squad or a big Purifier squad or even the Interceptor squads, you know, throwing out sidebolt ammunition, they hit on a 4 up. I guess it's a Grey Knight core, so you can actually use a Dread Knight to do it as well. So if somebody's charging you a Dread Knight or a Grey Knight character. So basically, anybody around this person 12 inches, your Grandmaster now hits on a 4 up with his side cannon and silencer and stuff like that. So pretty cool, except it is 20 points. So again, situational. You probably are going to be using Overwatch though, especially on a unit that has pretty good guns in it. If you have a unit that has 2 side cannons or even just incinerators, not incinerators, they all hit, but silencers. So using this is not a bad idea. This is actually probably one of the best ones in this. Just hitting on a 4 up on Overwatch is really good. So let's go into Heroism Favor. Once per battle at the end of the opponent's charge phase, you can select one friendly Grey Knight's core unit within 12 inches of this model. That model can perform. So this is the Brotherhoods that we just went over. You can actually bring the Brotherhood and everybody gets Heroic Intervention. Or you could just keep this on one of your characters and give a Dread Knight or a unit Heroic Intervention, as if it was a character. It'd be better if it was like a 6-inch Heroic Intervention, then this would probably be taken a lot more. But the 3-inch Heroic Intervention is just so small that if you're playing a good player, they're just going to stay out of this the whole time, if they remember. So having one of them for how many points? 15 points. I mean, 15 points, maybe not. If you have the extra points, 15 points is the cheapest you can have. So if you just want to have one unit Heroic Intervention, which our basically core units are really freaking good. The sword core unit swinging in at power 5, 2 damage, -3 AP is very good. So this isn't bad if you have the extra 15 points. It's just I probably wouldn't be taking this over some of the other things, because in my list I only have 3 characters, and one of them is a named character, so he can't even take these. But so yeah, it's hard to choosing that one or the other ones. Now, a Noble Death while friendly Grey Knight's core or Grey Knight's character units within 6 inches of this model gains object secured. I actually tried this out on one of the games that I played. And when I tried it out, I didn't know we actually had a Warlord trait that gives you objectives secured. So why pay for a Noble Death, which doesn't really make sense, but why pay a Noble Death 20 points when you could just put a Warlord trait, spend 1 CP, put a Warlord trait on him that gives him and everybody within 6 inches objective secured for the entire game. This is just until your next command phase. So I would not waste my points on this. Honestly, if you really want to just put it on your Warlord and you'll be fine. So now up here we have the Omen of Incursion. So once you're battle at the end of the reinforcements, Grey Knight's character, core character unit from your army that is not within engagement range of any enemy units that can shoot as if it was the shooting phase, but its models can only target a single eligible enemy unit that was in reinforcements. So basically this is the Space Marine one, where if they deep strike within a certain range, you can target somebody within 12 inches. If they deep strike within 12 inches, you can then target them and shoot them as if it was the shooting phase. So this is if you have like a huge, 10-man Terminator squad. It works with core, Grey Knight's core, and Grey Knight's character. So let's see if Paladins are core. I honestly don't know if they're core or not. They should be, right? I know they don't get the Brotherhoods. But do Paladins get core? Dread Knights get core, so you can actually choose them. And Paladins are core. So you can have a Paladin bomb and bring that. So that actually is not a bad thing to bring, especially if you have a huge bomb in the middle of the table. So anybody that deep strikes within 12 inches of them, you get to shoot the shit out of them before they get to do anything. So that is actually, because people always ask me, well, do you have this? And I'm like, no, because they assume it's a stratagem. You have to spend 2 CP to do it. But with us, we don't have that stratagem. So we have to spend, how many points? Incursion? 30 points. 30 points we have to spend to get that instead of spending 2 CP. Honestly, I'd probably rather just spend the 2 CP than getting this. But 30 points, you can bring a squad of the Servitors in for elite choice 4-man unit in the backfield, or you can bring the Foretelling of Locust, which we're going to go over that. So situational. If you have a huge bomb, potentially you're going to want to bring this. If you don't have a huge bomb, you can kind of just skip over that one. Prescience, paralysis. Once per battle at the start of your charge phase, if this model is on the battlefield, you can select 1 enemy unit on the battlefield until the end of the phase. That unit cannot fire, overwatch, or set to defend. So, Tau, maybe? If you're fighting something specific, you basically just like, no overwatch for you. Which again, right? It's not hugely probably going to be taking a lot. But this one right here is going to be awesome. Just being able to redeploy any unit, and we get 3 for free. So this one, Foretelling of the Locust, you're going to see this a lot. After both players have deployed their armies, select up to 3 Grey Knights core units, which are Dread Knights, infantry, basically like the main people that you're going to be having from your army, and redeploy them. If the mission uses a strategic reserve rule, any of those units can be placed in strategic reserves without spending any additional CP, regardless of how many units that are already in strategic reserve. If both players have the ability to redeploy, roll off, and then the winner chooses who redeploys their first turn. So actually one of my opponents asked me about this, and I probably should have just looked this up, because it says right here, if both players have the ability to redeploy, which you do have the ability to redeploy if you want to spend a CP to do it, we have to roll off, and the winner chooses who to redeploy first. So I probably should have just read that. But yeah, this is really good. So a lot of questions about this one though. So if anybody wants to put comments, we'll discuss it. Join the Discord, we'll discuss it there. But when does this proc? Does it proc to see who goes first? Then you do it. Does it proc before you roll to see who goes first? And when you put in strategic reserves, if they have the teleport deep strike ability, which every single unit or army does, can they just be put into the teleport chamber? So there's a lot of questions about this. I've just been playing it where we roll off, see who goes first, and then you redeploy. So yeah, that's kind of what everybody has been playing it as. So let me know, because this is actually a big one. You're going to be seeing this a lot. Even if it's not to see who goes first. Let's say you have the whole battle is deployed, and you have a shit ton of guys up in the right corner, and your Dread Knights are all the way across them, and you don't want them to get shot turn one. You literally could just redeploy those 3 Dread Knights all the way over here, out of line of sight, and then roll off. So it's not huge. It is a big difference, because if you're like, all right, I'm going first, I could just keep them here and then shoot. But if I'm not going first, I want to move them over here and not get them shot off the table turn one. So big question there. So let's get into the gifts of Prescience. Gifts of Prescience. So with the gifts of Prescience, I'm in my book so you guys can actually see what the hell we're talking about. Nice. No room on this desk. Okay, better. Gifts of Prescience. What do we got? True Name Shard. Once per battle, at the start of the fight phase, that's a demon. I'm almost automatically going to skip this one. It's not eligible to fight this phase until all eligible units have done so. So if you know you're fighting demons and you're playing a fun battle, not bad to bring. Now, Temporal Bombs. Before the battle, select one area effect or a terrain feature that is not within your opponent's deployment zone, and note it down secretly, cool, on the enemy roster. The first time the enemy unit starts or ends a move on or within the terrain feature, reveal your choice and roll a d6. On a 2+, enemy suffers. Great. So I'm going to be spending Temporal Bombs 15 points to get a free smite off. Cool. Is that it? Enemy suffers first, so like literally just once. Cool. Yeah, so literally not the best thing that you could pick for 15 points when an entire army has this ability with smites. So that is probably going to be skipped on. And then this one is what everybody's going to be bringing right here. Servant of the Throne. This comes in clutch. So you have this on your Nemesis Grandmaster, your Captain, your Librarian, whoever is very important to you. You want to put this on, maybe even just your Librarian, like the Mortal Wound, Psychic, drop down, kill everything, and have this on him. Then he'll be able to survive, hopefully, and then he can do it again and kill more shit. So this one, once per battle, when a bearer is selected as a target of an attack, so melee or shooting, it can use this gift. If it does, until the end of that of the turn, the bearer has a 3-up invulnerable save. So once per battle. Now, hold on. If it does until the end of the turn, is the turn the fight phase, the charge phase, or the other phases? Because I thought it was the phase. I've probably been playing that wrong. I've probably been screwing myself a little bit, but 3-up invuln until the end of the turn. Meaning that if you do it in the shooting phase, you then have it until the end of the turn, which is the assault phase. And if that's the case, that is 100% way better than I thought it was. It's still really good. So definitely this is going to be used on your Nemesis Grandmaster, again, your Librarian, anybody that's going to be getting into melee and you want to survive. That is really good, just having a 3-up invuln save. And then Deluminator of Majesty. When you give a model this gift, select one bolt weapon. That model is equipped with, once per battle, when the bearer shoots with this weapon, you choose to fire a majestic bolt. If you do, so basically the bolt gun turns into this huge bolt. If you do, you make one attack with this weapon, but if it scores a hit against a demon, cool. Until the start of your next shooting phase, the unit loses the aura ability if it has, in addition, any normal damage. So you shoot a demon and it loses the aura. Very situational. Again, if you're facing demons, maybe you want to test this out, but I probably would just go for the 3++ invuln save instead. Yeah, or the fight last. I mean, the fight last is, I think, way better than the one shot, and you could still miss, which sucks. Like, you roll a 1 or a 2, and you literally just miss. Some of them have -1 to hit, so then you need to roll a 4 up. Like, that's stupid. I'm not spending points for that. But hey, you do you guys. Gem of Anaktu. Heard about this one a lot. Once per battle, this could go on your librarian. You know, people like you really want to get the psych powers off. Once per battle, when the bearer is selected to manifest psych powers, you can use this gift. If you do so until the end of the phase, each time the bearer attempts to manifest a psych power with the Dominus discipline, add 2 to the attempt rolls. So the Dominus discipline is going to be your Gate, Vortex of Doom, Empiric Amplification, Warp Shaping, and Ghostly Bonds, and Sanctuary. So really, it's only going to work if you're using the Mortal Wound bomb for the Vortex of Doom. So then you need a 5 for it to go off. So you don't have to spend 1 CP to roll 3 dice possibly, and you don't have to spend 1 CP to possibly re-roll this for it to go off. So there's that. Or you put it on another person, like if you really want to get that gate off, or Empiric Amplification, they're both 7s. So you use that, you get your gate off, you do Empiric Amplification both on a 5, you spend 1 CP to cast another power, or you make a defensive librarian that has gate, that has Vortex of Doom, and has, I don't know if they could take 2, you might have to only take 1 of each. But that's what I'm saying. So you only need 5s for those. Warp Shaping, you need a 2. Ghostly Bonds, a 3, and Sanctuary, a 4. So it's, again, if it was like you just get +2 for all your psychic powers, then being able to use like Purify Flame with your Libby and that, even a Smite, you know, would be good, especially if he's like using the Smite later in the turn. So that's up in the air. I'm probably never gonna take this. Again, I'd rather just do Servant of the Throne. But if you guys would really, and Foretelling of Locust. So the Foretelling of Locust usually goes on my Librarian, and Servant of the Throne goes on my Nemesis Grandmaster, because you can't take 2. So that's the Gem of Noctu. Not bad if you're going to use it defensively and you really want to get a gate off, or Psychic Amplification, which adds +1 to the damage. Very, very good spell, 18-inch range. So yeah, pretty good. Severance Bolt. Severance Bolt, when you give this model a gift, select 1 bolt weapon, which again, going back to the gun, that model is equipped with. Before the battle, select 1 enemy character unit once per battle. If the bearer shoots that with that weapon, you choose to fire the Severance Bolt instead. If you do, you can only make 1 attack with this weapon, but when you select the target, you can ignore the Lookout Sir rule as long as you select a character unit in that target. So you ignore Lookout Sir, that's pretty cool. When making an attack with the Severance Bolt using the character unit, if it successfully hits, the target unit suffers D3 mortal wounds, and the attack sequence ends. If the character is a Psyker, okay, roll 3d6. If the roll exceeds the target's leadership, the Psyker cannot use that psychic power for the rest of the battle. That's pretty cool. Thousand Suns players are coming out of the woodworks. More Grey Knight players. That's pretty cool. But again, you have to hit with it, which I wish it just like you target somebody, boom, you hit. Make 1 attack with that weapon, but when selecting a target, you can ignore the Lookout Sir rule. I mean, it's cool. Just anything that you ignore that Lookout Sir is going to be good in the game. So how many points is that Severance Bolt? Severance Bolt is 30 points. Oh my gosh. So just being able to spend 30 points and needing like a 2-up, 3-up on like a Librarian, and if they're in cover or like +1, it's so hard to take, but so freaking cool. Like, hey, you just forget that psychic power. But then 1,000 Suns, they could literally just spend a CP and change a psychic power out. But then I guess that's the question: can you change the one that you have forgotten? Because technically you don't have it anymore, right? So the next the next video, we're going to be going over the Stratagems, which is going to be a ton of things to go over. Relics of the Titan. Let's go over the relics now. So this is going to be the gems and the relics. So the relics, there is a ton of relics. A couple of them are okay. A couple of them are good. There's one relic that you're going to be like, holy shit, that's going to be on every single list that you guys see. Let's go over them. So a lot of these are, I know One Last Blade likes running like some of these like relics that are weapon types. I tested out a weapon type for my captain, which I'm going to start using again now with all the Terminators I'm going to be using. So let's go over some of these. Soulglaive, model equipped with the Nemesis Force Halberd. This relic replaces the Force Halberd with the following characteristics. So +2, -3, 2 damage. So all you get out of this is the +1 AP, but each time an attack is made with this weapon, you can reroll hit rolls and wound rolls. So almost you're always going to be just damaging the crap out of whoever you're rolling, and it's -3 AP. So you get one relic for free. So this could be your relic. You put it on a captain. So now the captain is strength 6, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s, and re-rolling 1s to wound anyway, with -3 AP and 2 damage. So how many attacks does the captain have? The captain has, Grandmaster has 6 attacks. The captain has 5 attacks. So you put this on a captain. He's in the rapiers. He gets, I don't know. Yeah, I think he can do it. 6 attacks. The banner, I think, is just core. I don't know if the banner gives character. These are all the things I'm going to test out. Like the Ancient, the Terminator Squad, the Apothecary, Brotherhood Core, Infantry. So he's not core, so he won't get the extra attack. But still. Beastly captain dude coming in with that weapon is going to do a lot of freaking damage. So that's always good, the Soulglaive. And then Destroyer of Crixilus. Motto equipped this with his Demon Hammer. Relic replaces the Nemesis Demon Hammer. This is the one I tried. So why I did it, it's 4 damage straight, -3 AP. Each time an attack is made as a weapon, subtract 1 of that roll. So basically your captain goes from a 2-up to a 3-up, which isn't bad. But it's a demon hammer. So basically you're swinging that strength 8, AP 3 with 4 damage each. So if you do go through, you are doing a crap ton of damage on 5 attacks, possibly 6 attacks. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'll put a demon hammer on my captain. This one, Fury of Demos, 24-inch range, rapid fire 3, strength 5, AP 2, 2 damage. So basically it's like a mastercrafted Stormbolter. This replaces your Stormbolter or mastercrafted Stormbolter with fire. So I think the mastercrafted Stormbolter is strength 4, AP 1. This one is now strength 5, AP 2, rapid fire 3. So 6 shots if you're within 12 inches. Right? Or 6 shots if you're in a Terminator. That's pretty cool. So just a huge boost with one of your guns on your captain. But the captain already has a 2 damage mastercraft. So it's like, I don't really want to spend 1 CP to replace a mastercrafted Stormbolter. So if you have like a captain that doesn't have that, then you could do that. But I like the mastercrafted Stormbolter anyway. So it already does 2 damage. I don't really care about the strength 5. So yeah, it's okay. Banner of the Flame, this one I actually just read about today. It's on an ancient model, basically obviously the guy with the flag. So what you could do here, this is the strat that people are using right now, which they say is going to be nerfed, but who the hell knows. Warp charge of 6. So the banner casts this. In your psychic phase, the bearer can attempt to perform this psychic action. If completed, each enemy unit within 6 inches of the bearer suffers D3 mortal wounds. So what you do is you spend 1 CP, extend the range by 6 inches, and now he has 12-inch D3 mortal wounds on everybody around him. So basically, he teleports in, cast this, spend 1 CP, cast this, smites everywhere. So I'm going to be testing that out. I'm going to put that relic on my banner, and it's gonna be glorious. So we're probably gonna deep strike with, we're gonna gate Terminators up. We're gonna deep strike this guy in. We're going to deep strike our captain in. The captain is going to, or maybe even a librarian. Maybe. So captain is going to have the +1 to charges. So he's going to deep strike 9 inches away. He charges 8 inches. The Terminators now can then charge 8 inches. And the banner basically is going to do the D3 mortal wounds and then just charge it. Seems pretty good. So even maybe dropping the apothecary, put sanctuary out on the Terminators before they charge in, and then just keep one Terminator, within 3 inches of the apothecary. Or you can use the Warlord aura for the apothecary to have a 6-inch aura, so that way you only have to keep it 3 inches away from the battle. So that is a strat that I'm going to be trying. So that's going to be pretty cool. This one, Libor Demonica. Enemy demon units that are set up on the battlefield as reinforcements cannot be set up within 12 inches of the bearer. The bearer is the following demon aura, while an enemy demon unit is within 6 inches of this model. Each time a combat attrition test is taken, subtract 1 from the test. Okay, that's pretty cool if you're fighting demons. So basically you can't teleport within 12 inches of me. That's really cool. So you have like a huge squad of Terminators right in the middle. This guy's literally like, no. That's pretty cool. Again, very situational if you're fighting demons. And then Charis of Sacrifice, infantry model only. Add 1, so you can't put it on the Dread Knight, which kind of stinks. But add 1 to the armor save throw, so your 2 up goes down to a 1 up. And then each time the bearer were to lose a wound, it gets a 5 up field of pain. So that'd be pretty cool on a captain. I keep going back to the captain because I really want to try the captain out. So not bad. But there's another one that's, I think, better for the captain, which we'll go over. It's coming up on this page. Is it 2 pages? 1 page. 1 page. Okay. So let's go over this one. We got Sanctic Shard. The Sanctic Shard is each time a deny which is taken, if the result of the test is unmodified roll of 8 or greater, the result of the second test, the deny which is passed. So basically, no matter what they roll, if you roll an A+, you get it, which averages 7. Kind of hard to do this. But having this on just the person that you're really reliably trying to deny psychic powers could be good. And I think this is one of them that you can actually put on a Justicar. So just remember that if you really want to have it on a Justicar or Knight of Flame, or not Knight of Flame, maybe Knight of Flame, any one of the leaders of the units, you can put that on just for a CP. So you don't have to waste it on a character. You can just put it on a Justicar unit. Then we have the vaults. So the bearer can attempt to perform the following psychic action: warp charge of 5. In your psychic phase, the bearer can attempt to empower their allies. If the action is completed, successfully select 1 Grey Knight's core, Grey Knight's character unit within 3 inches of the bearer until the start of the next psychic phase. If the selected unit is engagement range of an enemy unit, it can fight first that phase. Okay, that's pretty cool. So you can put that on a whole unit. I gotta look into this one, because so many times you just get charged with a huge 10-man unit. They have something that makes the fight last or whatever it may be. You can spend 2 CP to interrupt, but this one just says, hey, you fight first. Got to test that one out. I don't know if it's worse than what I'm thinking it is. But you don't need to spend 2 CP in the game. You can just spend 1 CP and kind of put that out, and then boom, now your unit fights first. They're still going to get their attack in, but once they charge in, and let's say you have some people survive, let's say a couple people charge your Terminator squad, they charge in, pick 1 person, they fight. Now you fight right after that, and you can kill the people that haven't attacked yet. So that could come in actually pretty situational, especially for bomb squads, like a huge 10-man Terminator squad, Paladin squad, core, so Paladin squads. So there you go. That's something to start looking at for the Paladin squad. Nice. That's cool. Blade of Forsworn. Yeah, Paladins hit on 2s. That's ridiculous. And then you have the Apothecary buy. They get 5 Feel No Pain, so they're probably going to live. You then spend 1 CP to bring up Apothecary back for free, or not Apothecary, a Paladin back. So yeah, possibly really good. We'll definitely have to look into that when I make my list. Blade of the Forsworn. So this is another relic for a blade. Force Sword. It has +1, -3, 3 damage. So instead of going 2 damage, it's now 3 damage. Everything else is the same. But each time attack is made, the weapon against a demon unit, and unmodified for a roll of a 2+, successfully wounds the target. If the unit is a monster or vehicle, unmodified roll of 4+, then wounds the target. So that is cool. Does that work with sword bearers? So sword bearers thing is you get +1 to wound. Is that, I think it's just shooting though. They probably planned that out. +1 to wound, +1 hit roll, vehicle. Yep, so just vehicles. And this one is just a 4 sword, so this won't be for a Dread Knight. No, you can't combat it, but at least 4 up on vehicles, and a demon you get a 2 up. Situational, not the best, but not bad. Sigil of Exigence. So once per battle, when you put in shooting phase, when the bearer is selected to target by a range attack, it can activate this relic. If it does, remove the bearer from the battlefield and set it back up on the battlefield anywhere there is more 9 inches away from the enemy model. If the bearer is no longer eligible to target, the opponent then can choose a new eligible target for the attacks. So this literally is the best one we have in the entire book. This should be on every single Grandmaster, Nemesis Dread Knight, or if you don't have a Nemesis Dread Knight, it should be on somebody that you really don't want to die to shooting, such as your Mortal Wound Librarian, kind of coming in and deep striking, doing all of his mortal wounds, and then not getting targeted by shots, because then he could just teleport away. So this one you're going to be seeing in every single list that you see for the Grey Knights. I use this every single matchup, and it's just, people forget about it later in the game, and they just get so, not mad, but upset that they literally line up their entire army to kill your one Grandmaster, and all of a sudden you literally go from here to here behind the building, and now he can't shoot you. It's a slap in the face, but you told him ahead of time. So you're like, hey, I have this once a turn, once a game shunt. If you target me with an attack, I get to move somebody, and then you can then shoot something else. But they always forget, or they just give up shooting the guy, which you don't want to give up shooting a Grandmaster because he hits on 2s, side cannon, silencer. If he gets in a melee, you're done. So this is so good. Sigil of Exigence. Very good. So that's the best one, 100%. And I think it's only 20 points, honestly. No, it's a relic. Sorry, it's a relic. You don't spend points. Awesome. Agram Scrolls. Model with a Nemesis weapon only. Each time the bearer is selected to fight, you can re-roll a hit roll and a wound roll, and 1 wound roll when resolving bearer's attacks. You can put this on a Justicar, I think. So you can put this on one of your Justicars if you really want an OP promoted Justicar. You can do that. Staff of Supremacy. Model equipped on Nemesis Warding Staff only. The bearer has an aura while enemy units within 18 inches of the model. Each time a psychic test is taken, that unit suffers Perils of Warp on any roll of a double. So double 1, obviously, double 2, double 3, double 4, double 5, and obviously double 6. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 4 out of 36 more chances for them to peril. Is that worth it? Maybe? I don't know. And you have to be 18 inches away. Whatever. Cantu of Embrace, infantry model only. This is the one I was talking about. So this is the one I'm going to be using on my captain or Grandmaster infantry model. So infantry model only. Each time the bearer were to lose a wound on a result of a 4+, it's not lost. So 4 up, feel no pain. Each time an attack is allocated to the bearer, subtract 1 from the damage characteristics to a minimum of 1. Holy crap. Each time an attack is allocated to the bearer. So literally shooting, melee, like really good. So basically 4 feel no pain and -1 to the damage characteristics. So I think the I mean, the captain, I think, only has like 5 wounds or 6 wounds or whatever. But you're putting this on a Grandmaster. Grandmaster has 6 wounds, 6 attacks. You put it on a captain. He's got 5 attacks, 6 wounds. There you go. So 6 wounds, same as the Grandmaster. So basically, being able to have 6 wounds, you're damaged 2 things that you probably only need 3 to go through to kill him. Now you need 6 to go through, because your 2 damage shots get down. So very, very defensive. And on a 4-up, I freaking feel no pain. It doesn't even go through anyway. That's so good to put on an infantry character. Librarian possibly. So basically, he could be the one that you put it on instead of like having the 3++ save, or the shunt ability. You literally just put it on your librarian, so that way when he comes down, he does his bombs with the Vortex of Doom and Purify Flame, even a smite. And then if you shoot him or charge him, he gets a 4-up Feel No Pain. He has 5 wounds, 4-up Feel No Pain, and then any shots into him, it's -1 to the damage. That's pretty cool. That's a CP that I might wanna invest into on this guy. And then obviously I'm going to be investing into on this thing, because if I bring Drago, I need a captain to reroll the 1s to wound. So I'm probably not going to bring a Grandmaster. I'm just going to bring a captain instead. So the captain with 6 wounds is going to be insane. Hitting on 2s, BS2, Mastercrafted Stormbolter. Yep, Stormbolter. I'm excited. I'm excited. He's got a 4-up invuln save. He's got a 5-up invuln save, but 5-up invuln save with a 4-up Feel No Pain. Holy shit. Very good relic. So that is the one that I really want everybody to be testing out and letting me know how it goes. But I'm going to be running that with my Termi list coming up in the next couple of videos. Come on, let's get back to the relics. Here we go. So that's the one I was talking about. Now let's go into the Matrix. So this one, a lot of people were talking about when it first came out. Basically, you just don't suffer Perils of the Warp with somebody within 9 inches of you. So if you have like a defensive librarian, you put this on the librarian. He then, oh, it's almost, duh. Wow. Librarian. So you put this on the librarian. Then anybody within 9 inches of him does not suffer Perils of the Warp, which again, if your whole army is casting spells, smites, especially him himself, you just don't suffer Perils of the Warp. So if you have like a walking blob of people, you can basically never suffer perils, which is good. I suffered so many perils last game, especially when I'm doing the Empiric ritual with our Grey Knight Codex secondaries. You get 1 point for every time you cast a warp ritual of 5 on the objective, and I periled so many freaking times with that. So not bad if you're going to run a defensive, try not to peril list. This one, Conduit Tech Marine, so you heal 3 lost wounds instead of D3. If you like Tech Marines and you're running kind of blob of Dread Knights or Tech Marine, most of the time your Dread Knight's going to die. Like honestly, if you are only healing 3, I wish it was like everybody around you, you heal 3 wounds, because that would be more beneficial. But let's say your Dread Knight is getting shot. Most of the time they're going to have enough firepower or planned out enough firepower to kill your Dread Knight. So him living with 1 to 3 wounds is very unlikely. But let's say he does. Let's say he lives with 1 wound, right? You heal back up to 4. Now you get bracketed up to here. You basically get a better of that. A little bit better movement. But still, that's not... You're bringing a Tech Marine, which you have to pay points for. It's an HQ choice. And you have to spend a CP for the relic just to heal 3 wounds. I mean, I don't know if it's worth it just to get 1 more BS and 2 inches more of movement and 1 more attack. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me if you like Tech Marines that much that you're really going to use that on your Tech Marine. Because then if you are, I feel bad. I feel bad that I was just squashing it. Cool. So those are the relics. There's a bunch of good ones in this book, which is cool. Like you can definitely use this for like a more like a character development mission or a scenario mission. But there's a lot to choose from. Like you don't have to run the same list twice, which is pretty cool. You can have different lists all the time. You can test out different relics. There's actually a couple of relics that I completely forgot about since the first time I read this book, and especially with that Van Brace one with the 4 Feel No Pain. 50% of the damage you're taking is going to be neglected, and one of the damage is actually going to be neglected. So your captain's going to be insane, and I'm excited to run that. He's literally just going to be a beast. Like, I'm going to charge in. I'm going to have a 4-up invuln. I'm going to have a 4-up Feel No Pain. I'm going to neglect one of your damage characteristics, and he's just going to hit like a freaking truck. So yeah, it's going to be cool. So that is our relics and our special new things they add to the book. So let me know what you guys thought about it. Which ones are your favorites? Which ones did I miss out on? Which ones did I kind of skim over and not really talk too much about? But there's a lot more to go over with this book. We're only 2 videos in of our like 5-part video series. So what's really coming up next is the stratagems. I'm super excited about talking about the stratagems. That's going to be super fun. Then we're going to go over all of the abilities, the powers, which will probably be short. We'll do stratagems and powers at the same time. And then finally, the last thing we're going to go over is the whole book, like all of the characters and the units and stuff like that. Really, what they changed from the last book. So that'll be the 2 more videos. We got 1 video. We got the Masters of the Warp, the Tides. We have the psychic powers and the stratagems. And then we'll do the all the dudes in the book. So that's gonna be cool. So if you guys are interested in getting a game and you're actually near Pennsylvania, outside of Pennsylvania, you want to make a trip, we'll go out and play at a store, or we will play at my home bunker base. We'll record it, we'll throw it up on YouTube, we'll get some views and comments and have fun, maybe drink some beers. Guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming, clicking on the video. Part 3 is gonna be coming up soon, and let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in another video soon.